Hello friends, this is Deepak. Welcome to the channel Sharing Code Knowledge. Today I'm going to talk about optional and non-optional types in Swift. As everybody is shifting to Swift from Objective-C, I'm also learning Swift. In the initially when I was learning Swift, I came up with many confusions regarding to like how to declare properties, instance variables, class variables in Swift. So related to those confusions, today I'm going to talk about how to use optional and non-optional types in declaring of variables. Let's declare some variable. In Swift, we declare variables using the var keyword. As we can see, I declared a variable animal. In Swift, we need not to tell the compiler that what data type my variable holds. As I pass the value tiger with double quotes in the Swift, the compiler will automatically know that this is a string type. However, I can declare it a string type by myself. What if I want to declare a constant? Using the keyword let, I declare constants in Swift. Same with constants also. We need not to tell the compiler that my constant is a string type or an integer type or some other type. My compiler will automatically know that it's a string type if I will pass the value as a string or as a constant. I mean as an int. Same as like variables, I can declare constant a basic data type, I mean a default data type. Let's see how can I use these declaration of properties or instance variables in my daily codes. All we know in our daily code, we get the values for our variables via some APIs or via some user input methods. Suppose I got an API which gives me a response as a string. So how I'm gonna use that response to fit my variables. So my variable animal gets the value from some API response. Oh, sorry. So I get the value tiger. So how I'm gonna use this variable in the rest of my code? Suppose I pass this animal variable to some other variable. I can easily pass this thing to another variable as well. But what if our API gives me a nil value or some absurd value which is different than a string? Although this code runs very well, but this is not safe as our API can give us a nil value also. So how to deal with that situation? Generally, we all developers deal with that situation using some if statements. Suppose if animal is not equals to nil, do this. Oops, but what is this? This is not working in Swift. Let's see the error. It's giving me that cannot invoke a not equal to with an argument list of type value string nil literal convertible. Let's see what is nil literal convertible. As we can go through it, we can see that nil literal convertible is a protocol. Confirming types can be initialized with nil. So this means that my variable animal cannot be nil because it does not contains the protocol which makes it nil by default. So let's see how can we do that. This To deal with this situation, optional types come to the rescue. So how we use the optional types? And when the word comes optional, the word non-optional also come in the vicinity. So let me tell you first. The declaration of a variable like this is non-optional type. Non-optional types. What this means? Non-optional types means declaring the variable like this means it cannot be nil because this variable does not define to contain a nil value. So how to declare an optional type? To declaring an optional type, we use the character question mark. Now this variable is optional type. This means either it will contain a, a string value or nothing at all. What does nothing at all means? Nothing at all means nil. See, you can see then playground that it shows the value like this, some tiger. What does nil refers in Swift? It's not like nil in Objective-C. In Swift, nil means the variable exists but it does not contain any value. At the runtime, it does not have any value. So now I can use this variable safely, need not to use any if or some statements. What if I pass this value to some other variable? Suppose here I pass this value to some other variable, but now it gives me an error. Value of optional type is string not unwrapped. So here the unwrapping of optional values comes to vicinity. So let me tell you what is unwrapping of optional values. First of all, let me explain how this animal variable holding the string value with optional type. This means just consider this animal string, this animal variable as a container which holds some value inside it, and that value is optional. This means this animal container either contain a string value or it will contain nothing at all. Now this constant which animal variable is non-optional type here. And I'm passing this optional type value to this non-optional. So it's giving me an error. So this means that there is a value wrapped inside this animal container. Now I'm passing that wrapped value to some non-optional type constants. So I need to unwrap that value. How will I do this? For doing this, we have a keyword exclamation. With the help of this exclamation, I'm unwrapping the optional values. Now I easily get this optional value inside my non-optional type. So here we see that if we want to declare some optional values to a variable, we use the keyword question mark, and if I want to use those variables in rest of the code, If I will pass those variables to some functions or to some variables, I need to unwrap the values inside those optional variables. And for doing that, we need to we need to use this exclamation mark for unwrapping the optional values. This is the way we can make our code safe. If you gain something from this video, please subscribe to my channel and please leave your comments below so that I can learn more and I can share more. Thanks a lot. Good day.